So y'all, this is the rest of the parts to the girl story on how her brother went crazy and unalived their mother. I'm tired of just posting part by part. I just want to get the story out so y'all can watch it. But make sure y'all go back and look at parts 1, 2, and 3 on this story, and then 4, 5, 6, 7. The rest of the parts is going to be on this video that I'm about to let y'all watch. And let me know how y'all feel. Like, this is a wild, crazy story. Like, this is crazy. Like, you really got to get into it, listen to what she's saying. And let me know what y'all think. Like, mental health is really crazy. Like, but let's get into this story and let me know what y'all think.
Okay, this is part 4 of how my brother went crazy and killed our mom. So after I found her, I ran down the street and I lost it. And I had my dad had came out trying to help me, and the kids are still in the car too. And so they don't know what's going on. I'm just lost for words because I just found my mama dead and filled up with blood. So the police and the ambulance is there. They end up going inside and trying to see what they can do when they went in there. And they come back out and I'm like, she's dead. And they was like, well, we can't say if she is or not. And I was like, I already know she's dead because, you didn't come out with her on the stretcher. So it's common sense. If you didn't come out with her on a stretcher, then she's dead. And I was just lost for words. And it was pouring down rain. And when I say pouring, pouring. And when I ended up calling my brother, my family, everybody, aunties, I didn't call them, but my daddy did, and everybody got the word. I called my brother and told him I broke down I didn't even know how to tell my brother. Like, it was horrible. And everybody ended up coming, showing up, and, like I said, my mama lived on that main street, so traffic was just at a standstill because everybody was just so shocked because my mama was very known. Like, my mama was a traffic guard in the city. She worked for the police department, so she was a traffic guard. And she also, like, was traffic guard for, like, schools and stuff, so she knew so many people in the city. Not to mention that she was just known in the city. She was very, very known. So, like people slowing down, they stopping. Like, it was so many people at her house. And even the reverend came, like, for our church. He ended up coming. I don't even know how he got the word. Like, the word traveled quick. And police came and they was like, do you know who did it? And this is homicide ended up coming. And I was like, yeah, it was my brother. And he was like, how do you know it was your brother? And I'm like, because her car is gone now. Remember I said her car was there, and now her car was gone when I end up coming back. So I don't know if he was still in the house or not. Like, her car was gone when I end up coming back. So I'm like, I know it was him. Like, it had to be him. Like, her car's gone. Like, it was here first, now it's gone. And then he's the only one to live here with her. Like, it has to be him. So they like, okay, so we're gonna put an alert out for her car. And they was asking me the model and the make and the description of the car and what my brother looked like and everything. And I had told them, so they put an alert out for him. And then, all the police officers, they knew my mama. Because, like I said, my mama worked for the police department. So it was like one of theirs. Like, they just died. So all the police officers and homicide, everybody that came, they was giving their condolences because they knew my mama. So they was hurt too. So they went in there and they was like, yeah, your mom, they finally announced that she was dead or whatever. And I was like, well, I had already known. And, I was devastated, like, lost for words. And it's pouring down. And it was like, you all can leave if you want. I'm like, no, I'm not leaving. I'll wait until I see y'all. I wanted to see my mom and leave the house. I did. I wanted to stay. And I stayed. My whole family stayed. We stayed in the rain and we waited. They had to wait, for the people. I forgot the name of the people that come to check the body and stuff. And they had to wait for them to come. And not hospice. You know what I mean. But they end up having to come, and then they check her, and so they can name what was the cause of death and stuff. And then they was saying she had her last vows and stuff. They had to wait for all that and stuff. And they end up was telling they end up, it took a long time. They had to do like search the house and all the other stuff. It took hours and hours, and we waited outside. And they end up while we was waiting, they end up telling us they end up finding my brother downtown. They found him because my mama had this was right before Christmas, so my mama already had all her Christmas stuff. She even had her Christmas tree up. She already had all her presents underneath the Christmas tree for everybody. And she had gifts in her trunk too for her grandkids. So somebody had said they seen him at the store, and he was trying to sell some of the kids' gifts in the trunk, because my mama had I know she had got one of my sons a scooter for Christmas, and he was trying to sell this scooter for gas money because he didn't have any gas money. And he took and went to another store, and I guess he ended up selling it, and he ended up getting some I guess he ended up getting some gas. So then they ended up catching him at the Taco Bell down the street, and they called him, and one of the workers had said they thought that it was a woman in the car, because they thought that the person had a wig on. They could have swore that the person in the car had a wig on, but when he got out the car, he didn't have the wig on. So I'm like, what was he trying to act like my mama in the car? Like, didn't even make sense. So they ended up getting him and locking him up, and he's saying that he didn't do it. So like, okay, that was that. And then so we still waiting at the house and waiting for him to bring her out. They end up bringing her out on a stretcher, and I just lost it. When I say I lost it, it was just devastating, because like, this is my world. My mama's like my best friend. Like, when I say my best friend, I talk to this woman every day. Like, there was no day I wouldn't talk to my mama. Like, we talk about everything. Like, when I grew up, like, I was a teenager. I didn't like my mama. I used to bump heads with my mama. When I got grown, we was like this. We even went out together. We went to the clubs together. We went to bingo together. We went everywhere. Like, this is just like, that was my last. Who would have known that day before was my last day seeing my mama? But at least I got to see her. And I kind of wish that, I could have helped and prevented something, like, because that was the reason why she was calling for the keys. She was calling for the keys because she was trying to, lock her door. And she probably locked her door, and he unlocked it with the keys. He took her keys and unlocked it and came in there and killed her. And, I was just devastated with, my mama's gone, and they told us that, don't nobody come clean the house. We had to book somebody to clean the house. And I don't know why my daddy went in there. My daddy went in there, y'all, and cleaned my mama's whole room. Like, cleaned it to the T. I don't know why my daddy did that. Here, we could have booked somebody to clean that room, but my mom and my daddy was really close too. They was really good friends. And he cleaned that room. And I wish my daddy would have never cleaned that room, because that scarred him. It really did. It, like, messed him up, like, in the head when he did it, because there was so much blood everywhere. And he cleaned that room up, and I don't know how he did that. Like, because she got killed on her bed, on her mattress. And it was just horrible. Like, I was scared to even come back in her room. In her house, to even clean the house up, to like take everything out the house. It took me a while to come back in there. I had to wait like a few weeks to go back in there. Y'all, come back for part 5 of why my brother went crazy. How my brother went crazy and killed our mom. Okay, this is part 5 of how my brother went crazy and killed our mom. So my dad had went in there and cleaned up all of the blood in the house. I don't know why he went in there and cleaned up all that blood, because we literally could have booked somebody to clean all that blood up. Because homicide had told us, they told us that they didn't have anybody to clean the house for us, that we had to do it ourselves. And my daddy, him and my mom was really, really close, so I felt like he felt like it was his duty to do that, which after he did that, you could tell that it affected his mental, and I wish he wouldn't have never did that, but he did it. And then so after that, the next day, it was so overwhelming. Like, had so many people reaching out, and I appreciate everybody that reached out to me, but it was just like so overwhelming because I just lost my mama, and I really didn't know what to do. Like, it was just so much. Like, people was bringing food over, people was bringing, sending their condolence, reaching out, calling me, and at this point I just was numb. I didn't know what to do. Like, I was lost, like lost for words. Like, I literally lost my best friend. I was so, lost for words because I couldn't believe it. I kind of felt like it was a dream. Like, my brother really killed our mama. This is my blood brother. This is our mama. I couldn't believe I lost my best friend. I didn't know how life was going to work again. Like, how was I going to cope with life? Like, I'm not even gonna lie, I couldn't even be a mom at the moment for my kids. Like, cause I was lost. Like, I wanted to take my life. I wanted to be with my mama. I really did. And I'm gonna be honest, like, depression really hit the fan for me. And it was really bad. And, it got very bad for me because I was still trying to maintain life, for me and my kids. But it was hard. And, the detective had reached out to us and said that, they're trying to do the rapid tests for the DNA, because they went ahead and did DNA for my mom, because, she was like one of theirs. Like, I remember I told you she worked for the police department, so they did a rapid test. They was 10 toes down on trying to find out if this was my brother that killed my mama, and they really was very helpful. Really, they was. And they told me that they did a DNA test underneath my mama's nails, because her nails was broken up. Like, I guess from her putting up a fight, trying to fight for her life, all her nails was broken because she had just got her nails done. And they put a DNA test on his clothes because they found his clothes in the basement. I guess he tried to wash his clothes. They found the murder weapon in the backyard because, remember, it was raining, so he was able to dig a hole and try to hide one of the murder weapons. And then they found another murder weapon down in the basement as well, in the little where the little sewage port in the basement. They found it there. I can't tell you exactly what the weapons was because we're still going for trial, but they also did the DNA test for that, and they told us that it takes 48 hours. So after 48 hours, they got back with us, and they let us know that their DNA came back as my brother being the one that murdered my mama, because the DNA went, it was his DNA underneath her nails and stuff. And her DNA was on, her blood was on his clothes and on the murder weapon and everything. So, and her DNA, was on him as well. So he went to arraignment, and arraignment with court was on the news as well, because the news people was like, they was on it. They was reaching out to us, trying to get a story and everything. They was reaching out to me constantly, and they had cast it on the news, the arraignment, and he had said that he didn't kill her, which we know that you did kill her. And it was very hard. Like, I didn't know what to do anymore. Like, I was lost. I really was, because trying to figure out how you're going to go day-to-day life without your mama, someone that's very important in your life, is hard. Like, even to this day, it's still hard, like, for me. But I had to get it together so I can plan her funeral. So me and my brother got together, and my family as well. We went to the funeral home so we can plan her funeral. And we had to pick out her casket and everything. And my mama had also told me how she wanted her funeral as well. She wasn't scared to talk about death. She let me know what she wanted, what color she wanted. My mama had a very good life insurance. She had life insurance put aside for her funeral and for her kids as well. So I was able to, take care of everything for that, and get her buried the way that she wanted to. And I had also booked the makeup artist for her because I didn't want her to have the ordinary funeral home look, makeup look, casket short looking. I didn't want that. So I couldn't get her nails done because her nails was all messed up from fighting for her life. And I booked the makeup artist for her, and the makeup artist went out and tried to do her makeup. And the makeup artist reached out to me and was like, I'm so sorry for everything that happened to you. She was like, I tried my hardest to make your mom look good. I tried my best. I didn't want to mess up her face as much, so I went ahead and did the best that I could. And she kept apologizing. And then she said, I tried my best. So I'm like, okay, I didn't see my mom yet. I was going to see her the day before the funeral. The wake. So, because we had a wake and a funeral. So, the next day I went to see her. And when I went to see her, we had to make a decision, me and my family, if we was going to have an open casket or a closed casket. And when I tell you, when I seen my mama, that did not look like my mama. I cried my heart out. My little tears couldn't stop. Because I couldn't believe that was my mama in that casket. The way he did my mama, it didn't even look like her. Like, they had to mold her face back together. Like, the way they had to mold her face back together, it was just ridiculous. Like, it was horrible. Like, her head, everything, like, was molded back together. And the makeup artist, shout out to her, because she really tried her hardest. But it didn't help anything. It really didn't. And my mama looked beautiful. It's my mama. But it was hard because we had to make the decision to have a closed casket. And I made everybody leave out the room when we made that decision. And I wanted to be in the funeral room by myself and my mama. And I talked to my mama. I told her I love her so much and I'm so sorry for what happened to her. I apologize. And I told her at the end of the day, you're still my mama. I'm sorry that I can't recognize you right now, but I love you to the fullest. And I love her so much. I miss her so much. And I couldn't believe that she had to fight for her life from her own son. And it was so hurtful to see my mama look like it. It was, y'all. It didn't look like her. And we finally made that decision. We had to have a closed casket. We did. So after that, we made our decision to have a closed casket. And I had made a wig for her and everything. I wanted her to look so beautiful. I wanted to do her hair. I made a wig for her and everything. I did the makeup artist, everything. I did so much. Her outfit, everything was so important. All for us to have to do a closed casket. Y'all, come back for part 6 of how my brother went crazy and killed our mom. Okay, this is part 6 of how my brother went crazy and killed our mom. So after we decided that we had to have a closed casket, we ended up getting everything together so we can get the wake. And that was like a lot for me, like trying to figure out everything for that. And shout out to everybody that literally helped me and my family through this situation, like the donations and everything. Like, I even had someone like from the carriages with the horses. The lady gave us that for free. Like, my mama was very, very important in this county, like Jefferson County. Like, she was very good person. She knew a lot of people. She knew so many people, like, and I didn't know she knew that many people until she died. And just the amount of people that like looked out, like, homegirl of mine, she even paid for the where we had the reception, the hall for that. Like, that was just so nice. People looked out for the food, all that was just so considerate to even help that, because like I really was just lost at the moment, because I had 1,000,001 things going through my head, and still trying to plan this funeral was just the worst. Like, it was a lot. And, you know, I was still trying to maintain being a mother at the same time. And we had this wake. We had the wake. All my family and stuff was there, and we got there, and we trying to have everything in order. Because I had to end up getting a big printout of my mama. Since we was going to have a closed casket, I had to get a big printout picture of my mama and put it on the easel. So all these people's coming thinking they about to, you know, say their farewells to my mama. When they get in there, they are upset. Because they like, wait a minute, why is the casket closed? But we never told anybody why is the casket closed. We just let it be. Wasn't nobody's business. And, you know, a lot of people came there to meddle too. When I tell you, there was a line outside for my mama, to see my mama. It was a line to get into the door to see her. And that line stayed steady. It was packed. It was so packed. It was 2 books filled up. You know how you sign when you go to somebody's wake to, you know, your little signature, you know, that you was here. I have 2 books filled up. That's how many people it was. And I was so grateful for all them people to come and show love to my mama. Half of them people I didn't even know. But, hey, I was just grateful to see the love for my mama. And as the day is going on, somebody come up to me and was like, his baby mama, sir, with the kids. Well, not the kids. She was pregnant, but with her daughter and her. Okay, I'm fine with my niece. My niece is my niece. It is what it is. But that baby mama, I don't know. Because, like, I'm like, ooh. We was like, cause we kind of, I ain't gonna stunt, kind of thought that she had something to do with it too, because like after a while I felt like you knew something but that you didn't tell us. Like I felt like that was stuck in my heart and everybody else's in the family as well. She came there. Don't know why you came there, because you and my mama had bumped heads very bad, and like, you know, it wasn't good terms. And I kind of felt like my brother sent her there, because like her mama came as well, and her mama could have brought my niece. Not saying that she can't come to the funeral or the wake or whatever, but I just, you wasn't welcome. That's the truth. You wasn't welcome there. Didn't nobody want you there. My niece was very welcome. She was. I don't care. Like, what my brother did is what he did. I'm not never going to put that on the kids. They don't have nothing to do with it at all. And I love my niece to death. And his other kids as well. And she came, and I guess she felt the bad energy. But I felt like he sent her to come to try to see what the damage that he did. And she came and she left. Like she was in and out. That's what made me feel like you came to see what did he do? What was the damage that he did? And after that, the funeral was over. We had our, you know, the little ate after and all that. And then we had the funeral next. And at the funeral, it was kind of hard because we was trying to figure out like how we was gonna, you know, go through this day, because this is our last day seeing, you know, our mama or whatever, even though we didn't get to see her because the castle was closed. So couldn't nobody talk at the funeral. And then I was the only one that could talk at the funeral. So I was strong enough. I don't even know how I had the courage to even get up and talk, but I did. And I was able to get up there and talk. And I said some words that I didn't even believe that I even said. And I even said, I know my mom. One of the words I remember to this day, I said, I know my mama's body is dead and gone, but her spirit stays alive. And I know she's always with me. And I stick to that to this day. I believe that. My mama is always with me. Her spirit never died. And I always feel her. because I always have, good luck all the time, because I know she's always around. She always look out for me like she was when she was here. So we had the love funeral, we had the reception, and then we had that, and it was that. And then a few days later, we get a phone call. And they had to release him because I don't remember why they had to release him. Okay, go back. Okay, I do remember. So they had to. This is before the test, the rapid test came out. They had to release him. When they had released him, they had to release him because they didn't have the DNA yet. And when they released him, they couldn't find him. They didn't know where he was at. He went hiding. When I say he went hiding, they couldn't find him nowhere. And it got to the point to where, like if somebody finds you out on this street, you know, I ain't saying too much on her, but you know. And couldn't nobody find him nowhere. They even had a manhunt for him because after a while the test came back and they needed to lock him up. And they ended up finding him because a lady had called and said there was a suspicious man walking around the neighborhood. And this was like in a suburb neighborhood, like a neighborhood that everybody knows, neighborhood watch neighborhood. And she called and reported him. And when they found him, and they picked him up, and then that's when they ended up keeping him. That's how, all that happened. Forgot to mention that. It kind of slipped my mind. But, like, that happened with that. And after that, we was like, what do we do next? And Christmas haven't even had came yet. And my mama, we still never went in her house to clean up her house yet or nothing. So we had went and got the presents, all that stuff. And, she had presents with everybody's name on it. And she also had a gift for my niece. I mean, not my niece, her niece, which was my cousin. Remember I said that we were supposed to decorate the party for her? She had a gift for her, which was so nice. My cousin said she was going to cherish that gift because that was so nice. She had gifts for everybody. And then we ended up cleaning the house up. And when I went into my brother's room, oh my goodness, I found this Bible. Remember I told you it was bad spirits around that room? I found the Bible upside down words. Y'all, come back for part 7 of how my brother went crazy and killed our mom. This is part 7 of how my brother went crazy and killed our mom. So when I had went into that room, I had seen that Bible that was upside downwards. And in the chapter that was upside downwards that he was reading was something about sacrifice. You sacrifice someone to cleanse your soul. And I had when I had read that, I was shocked because I was like, did he sacrifice our mama? Like, I had all type of questions in my head. Like, I didn't know what to think. Like, why was that book upside downwards right there? Like, was it a reason why that book was upside downwards and it was on that chapter? Like, I don't know. Like, I even started thinking about, like, my mama and how she, like, had to put up a fight to, like, fight against her own son, like her firstborn, her love. It's your first love. So, I was thinking about all that stuff, and that just blew my mind, like, because they was the only one in that house that really know what happened. And I had just things just running through my mind. But anyways, I had ended up talking to the detectives to see what was the next steps that we go in this process of going through courts and everything. And then I ended up meeting the prosecutor and everything, and they let us know the steps that we had to take to go through this process, and that it was going to be a long run, in which it is, because we're still waiting for trials to start. Trial hasn't started yet. And I don't even think I'm prepared for that, because I remember seeing my mama, but I don't. Because, like, you know, I was, like, in shock, like, as how I passed out. Like, it was just, like, a lot. Like, seeing somebody like it, like, I read y'all comments, and y'all know y'all be saying some off the wall stuff. Like, y'all do. And I don't really think y'all understanding me telling my story and what I really went through. Like, it's really bad trauma that somebody go through, and then you can't say, oh, I would have did this, and no, you ain't. Because you don't know. Because I didn't say that plenty of times. Even watching them criminal shows, I watched plenty of them. And to know that I was the one in one of them, like, the stuff that I said that I would have did, I didn't. I wouldn't have never thought that I would have passed out and just ran out of that house. Like, it was just my reaction of right then and there, like, seeing someone like it that I love. Like, you don't understand that trauma. That's very bad and horrible. Like, I wouldn't wish that on nobody. But, like, that day that we had cleaned up my mama's house, I didn't get anything out of that basement, because remember when he put the weapon in the little sewer thing? It was the sub pump, and he had turned it off. So it had rained. Remember, it had rained. So when it rained, everything that was in that basement flooded. And my mama had, like, everything in that basement, like, even things from us growing up, pictures, like, a lot of my childhood stuff was, like, in that basement. And, you know, our mamas, you know, especially black mamas, they storage a lot of stuff in their basement, even, like, clothes, shoes, stuff when you was a kid, everything. It was in that basement. And my mama's basement was huge, too, so I didn't get none of that, and that really hurt my feelings to know that I didn't get none of that, like, stuff that was down there, me and my other brother, and, you know, it just blows my mind, like, the trauma that you go through when something like this happen, and it's hard to get through sometimes, I tell y'all. Like, I still, to this day, kind of still feel like I'm in a dream. Like, I still couldn't put it past, even though, like, a couple years then went by, I still can't put it past, like, why my brother did this. And I still haven't talked to him. Like, when I first seen him in that courtroom, I didn't know, like, how my feelings was going to be. Like, I had, like, you know, you can't get rid of a love for somebody, but it's just, like, a hate there. Like, I don't know, I kind of wanted him to die, and people kept telling me, you can't think like that, you know, God wouldn't want you to be that way, and I understand that, I know that deep in my heart, but the hate that I had for him for taking our mom away from us like that just was very bad, and I'm not a person like that. I don't think like that, so for me to have them bad thoughts in my mind, it was horrible. But when I seen him in there, I just wanted him to look at me. He wouldn't look at me. He would look away, and I stared at him the whole time, and I really wanted to know why you did that, like, why? And, you know, I guess he wanted more attention. Even when they put him in a cell with somebody, he tried to, like, hurt them. He had, like, choked them with his shirt and choked them out, so he ended up getting another charge for, you know, doing that to that person in his cell. And he didn't even, like, as the months went by and we keep going to court, getting different dates, because ain't nothing happening in court. They also had they made him do an evaluation to see if he could stand trial. Was he crazy, and could he stand trial? In which they came to the conclusion that he can stand trial, but he just looked at crazy and crazy as I seen him in that courtroom. And then at first wasn't nobody coming in there for him. And just like recently when we've been going to court, his baby mama's been popping up in there. So they've been talking, you know, And now he doesn't even have public defender no more, because at first he had a public defender. And now he has a real lawyer. So I guess his baby mama's helping him out. And we seen her in the courtroom, and she tried to give me a hug, but my sister-in-law, she was like, no, I don't think it's a good idea. And I really wasn't feeling it either. Like, I wasn't at all. And then, like, as the months and months and years go on, I kind of like, I forgive, but I don't. I don't know how to explain it. Like, I don't want to be in my heart where I'm just so angry and I'm in hatred. Like, I feel like I'm blocking my blessings when I'm like that. And I know that he was going through something, because like me and my brother was like really, really close. I'm sorry, y'all. Hurt my feelings talking about that. Yeah, it really hurt my feelings talking about that. Me and my brother was really close. And I just really don't know why he took our mama. Like, I really don't. And it hurts my feelings to know that, y'all. And, you know, I appreciate everything that everybody reach out and tell me their story. You know, y'all get on here and I just want to tell y'all my story. Like, I don't get on here just like to like for y'all's attention. I really don't. But I get on here to tell my story because I know people that reached out. So many people that reached out to me and told me that they're going through the same thing. And I feel like the system really, really failed me and my family. My mama even went to the court system and tried to, you know, get the authority to put him inside the mental hospital. I forgot what it's called, but you know, you take control of everything. They denied her, and I didn't understand that. And now my mama's dead due to the system failing us. Because I feel like if they would have helped him when we kept trying to take him to the hospital, my mama would still be here. Y'all, thank y'all for listening to my story. I really, really appreciate the love and the support that y'all really had came out and said to me. I read you all's messages and comments, even the negative comments. You know, people's gonna say what they say, but I really appreciate y'all listening to my story. And thank y'all for everything, showing all the love. I appreciate it. Good night.